Hello and welcome to another Drive-In Double Feature. I'm Ryan,
I'm Nathan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about two movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before we have anything at all, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. You know, Nathan, I was over in North Korea this weekend, just like where my
Oh,
summer home is.
yeah, your summer home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I just, I go there periodically just to, get away from it all.
Oh, yeah, perfect place to get away from it all.
And somebody was like, "Oh, hey, like you enjoying North Korea?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And they're like, "You know what else you'd enjoy? You'd also enjoy the Patreon for the podcast, Drive and Double Feature Podcast. It's got some fun games, fun conversations, just a good old time between friends over there for only $5 a month." And I said, "Oh yeah, that does sound like a great deal." And then the person said, "I hope our great leader, Kim Jong-un, knows how much we appreciate him." And I said,
Oh,
"I think he knows."
Kim Jong-un is still. Wow. Wait, is it? Yeah, Kim Jong-un. Yeah. I don't know my North
Yeah,
Korea. Yeah. Whoops.
yeah, you wouldn't survive a day out there, Nathan.
I wouldn't. I'm surprised our podcast is even allowed in that great nation. Well,
It's approved.
they sell movies over there. I don't know. Maybe they got a disc with some of our
Yeah,
podcasts.
we're nice cassette tape of our podcast. But
Yeah.
anyway, like I said, it's only $5 all. It doesn't affect any regular content. But today we are talking about the movie Joint Security Area, and that is directed by Park Chan-wook.
Uh,
Nathan, why, did I just accidentally pick the Kino director?
yeah. I think you might have accidentally picked Kino. You shouldn't be picking this stuff for Drive and Double Feature. This isn't the first time recently.
I know, I know. Uh, no, it's a movie that's been on my radar for a while. It's like I remember seeing it on somebody's list, and I thought like, oh, that looks pretty interesting, and like did
Mhm.
some more digging into it, and it's actually it's pretty well acclaimed for that. And I said, you know what, this is a good opportunity to watch it, so that's why I picked it.
Yeah.
It,
I do
yeah,
think it. I do gotta. I just want to say it now since it's in my brain, but I do love. It's so beloved that the South Korean leader, when he met with the North Korean leader, gifted this movie to him on DVD. What I think that's so funny is like this will change his mind. This will change
yeah.
everything.
And he just watched like at the time it was Kim Jong Il, and he
Yeah.
just watches like, whoa, like
Oh my God.
oh,
I was wrong the whole time.
yeah.
That's why,
It's
man, the
it,
power of film.
it's just as brilliant when Matt Pat gave the Pope the copy of Undertale.
What? I don't know this. That went over my head.
Well, this is a aside. Do you know who Matt Pat is?
No, I've heard the name, but I don't
The
know who he
the,
is.
the game theory channel or
Oh, okay.
whatever.
I know game theory. Yeah.
Yeah, he got a chance to meet the Pope, and he gave him a copy of Undertale.
Whoa! My whole life has changed. That's actually really funny.
Yeah. Uh, but anyway, this movie is right in that demilitarized zone
Mhm.
in North and South Korea where the two countries are bordering. Um, it's a very obviously it's a very volatile situation where both sides are heavily against each other, and there's a lot of scrutiny on both ends. How the movie starts, this movie starts with a murder. Um, we kind of get a shot of like, I know we get a nice owl. The owl's like just chilling out.
Oh yeah. Oh
And
no. Yeah, you must have liked this movie just from the first shot of the
I was
owl.
like, oh, I was like, an owl in this is cool.
This
So
is so cool. But and he sees a bullet too.
yeah, I'm thinking like, oh man, this owl's gonna be like the star witness of this murder. Like the
Oh
owl's gonna
yeah, it's one of the owls of Gahul, the guardians of Gahul. So like it can talk and everything, and he's on
they're gonna have
trial.
to they're gonna have to call the owl up to the stand.
And then they're gonna ask who committed this murder, and he's just gonna go, who?
Yes,
Yeah, see,
that's
I'm doing.
exactly what.
I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
It's stand. Yeah, I'm just.
you're on
I'm on
fire. You're on
fire.
fire this
I'm.
week.
Yeah, I got it. I'm telling you, I'm getting ready for my stand up. Uh,
You're ready today.
yeah, I am.
But
Go ahead.
but no, yeah, the movie does start with a murder, and we know right away two soldiers have been killed. Two North Korean soldiers have
Hmm.
been killed, and the only person that was aware of it is a South Korean soldier
Hmm.
and another North Korean soldier. So how it starts with she's kind of the main character, but not really. Is Major Sophie Jean.
Yeah,
Um, she
uh,
she's half Korean and half Swiss,
yeah, and I
and
think that is interesting. The fact that like she is kind of the star. She's the star for the first bit, the end, and then the middle is like is all flashback. So that's why she's not in those scenes.
yeah. So I mean, originally, like you kind of get the impression that she's going to be the star of this movie because right now she plays a Swiss officer, a major, and she's come to Korea out there, and she is originally going to just they wanted a neutral party like investigating this crime because they obviously like the two sides are too biased towards each other, so
Hmm.
there's no way for a fair investigation. So that's why they've gotten this girl from Switzerland, and she also has um a a partner named Bruno, I think his name was. Um,
Um,
but
yeah,
he doesn't
Bruno.
really do he doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's
He's just kind of
he,
like there to make like a fart joke at some point. I think he says like, "Oh, if you do so much as like fart near the border, you'll get shot," or something like that.
and
Uh
there's a fart later in the movie too.
yeah, yeah, there's plenty of farts in this movie. But yeah, yeah,
So
he's
that's a
my
10 out of 10. Have a great night. Fart jokes.
yeah, oh yeah, if it's got a fart, it's good stuff. That's why Ghost World's my favorite movie. Um but yeah, so yeah, you're right. Bruno's there, but he's more there as a second party to kind of drive a like maybe the plot. I guess to have her
Mhm.
have somebody to be against because she's obviously the star, and she's not really a lawyer, but star investigator to all of this to bring it all together.
Yeah, and how the movie kind of goes is like they she goes and speaks to the South Korean soldier whose name is I'm just gonna go his full name is Lee Soo Hyuk Hyuk, but everyone just calls him Sue, so I'm gonna call him Sue. Um, so when they go and interview him, he's very like he doesn't really talk too much, and he basically is just like I was out using the bathroom. Some North Korean soldiers kidnapped me, threw me into their office, but I was able to steal a gun and shoot them both, and I was able to make a clean getaway. And that's kind of like what his side of the story is. And then she goes to North Korea and she interviews the North Korean soldier that was a witness to all that. And he says that Sue broke into their office and just kind of went on a rampage and killed two officers. And, he was able to escape that way. Like, he
Yeah.
just kind of just did that.
And I love how
And
Sue looks because it shows the scene from both of their like stories about what happened. Like it shows one where he's kidnapped and then shows one where he's the murderer. He looks downright evil in the one where he kills the North Koreans where he comes in. They give him like this like very evil look.
those innocent North Koreans, as they
Uh-huh.
always are portrayed.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, as we learn in the movie, you know what, looks can be deceiving.
Yeah, so kind of what I was expecting from it when they were doing that, I was like, oh, are they going to do like a Rashomon type of thing where it was like,
Yep. I thought the exact same thing.
it's like, do you like, there's a bunch of different perspectives. You kind of have to figure out where the truth is in all of them. Like, and, but that's not necessarily the case because when she does go and try to interview these soldiers, they're just like, whatever I had to say is in my deposition. Like, I don't want to talk about it anymore. And it's a very odd situation because even like the North Korean soldier is just like, oh, he just doesn't want to talk about it. And she's just like, why is everyone being so weird type of thing? And
Yep.
they do, they do eventually find um, a gun, which was the gun that he was turned out to be like the murder weapon. And they found all the bullet except for one of them.
Yeah.
And
But there's like
the
there's 15 spent shell casings, correct? So like the person who shot it would have had to have loaded it with a bullet already in the chamber. And they do like that scene where she goes in and she like tests him, like reload the gun, and gets him to do it twice, and both times he doesn't load the chamber. So they already know like, oh, this gun can't be his because he doesn't load weapons like this.
Yeah, and the one of the other weapons was broke into it, jammed. So,
That's right.
but so they're having like they find out that there was actually some other guy in this platoon. His name is Nam,
Hmm.
and he was going to be. So basically, they go and interview him, and once the pressure starts kind of cooking in the interrogation, he immediately just cracks, and he pulls like a gun out, and he tries to kill himself, but that wasn't work. So he ends up like jumping out of a window, and there's this like really crazy shot like right there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like watching The Matrix. It would make sense. This came out the year
yeah.
after, but it's like slow mo. He's in the air, and like the camera moves. There's glass falling.
Well, yeah,
This,
because it starts out like he's right side up,
uh-huh.
and then you just see like broken glass like all around him, and then all of a sudden like the camera kind of does like a 180,
Hmm.
and and now he's upside down. And so because Sue like actually saw his body like fall out, and
Yeah.
he ends up, killing himself, and he dies.
Yeah, yeah. And you could tell that he was the more vulnerable one, and we learned that later in the movie that he's a very vulnerable, kind of awkward character, and the whole situation affected him very heavily. And this is like a good, I'd say, like a good chunk of the way in the movie, and the mystery's still there as to what actually
Um,
happens.
there's one aspect too, like in the beginning of the story where like they're talking about Sue as a soldier, and like other
Mhm.
soldiers are like saying like, oh yeah, he's like super crazily skilled. Like he stepped on a mine one time and he was able to disarm it himself.
Mhm.
And we come to find out like that story was not exactly true. Like he did step on a mine, but it turned out it was two North Korean soldiers like actually taking pity on him and able to disarm the mine. Like, because he was basically like he stepped on this mine, and two North Korean soldiers found him and were about to just kill him right there on the spot. And he was just like, he told them like, "Hey, like I'm stepping on a mine right now. Like, get away."
Mhm.
And they started walking away, and he's just like pleading with them, like crying, and they kind of just take pity on him, and then um
Mhm.
they help him out, and they disarm the mine.
And you forgot the golden retriever that also helps them out, little puppy.
Mm-hmm.
That's there
Yeah,
for
little dog.
yeah, for that's there for some reason. But yeah, they help him out, and then it's kind of like, you know what, go on, go your own way, go back, and they walk away. Um so you can already tell like the movie's setting up the North Koreans to be maybe a little more humanized, I guess. Like, you know, like it's like they're people too, and they just wanted to help somebody out. So he goes away, and this is all the flashback, because you know it shifts into that. And then
Hmm.
he decides, because he protects the South Korean border, and then these two protect the North Korean border. And so he actually starts to sneak out at night to go meet these two to thank them. And I actually think it starts out with messages, right? He throws like they throw letters back and forth to read to each other.
Well, that's like the thing. Like before they do that, they they're they notice each other at the border
Hmm.
because the North Korean soldier like kind of makes like a noise like the first time he met him, like there's
Yeah.
like a whistle type of noise, and then when he sees them again, like on the border, like he makes that like just indicating like, hey, I remember you type of thing, and like you said, then yeah, they kind of just start with like as pen pals of sorts, where they're just like they're attaching like a message to like a rock and then like throwing it to each other like back and forth.
Yeah. It's like this point and like moving forward, I feel like I personally forgot about the murder, and the movie became this like sweet buddy movie about like two people completely opposite of each other that find each other and become friends. And it's not even like, it's surprisingly not that cheesy, because I like later in the movie, because once they do actually start meeting each other, they pretty much are like, you want to come to our side, you want to come to North Korea, and they're like, you want to come to South Korea, and they're both very against the idea of that they would never do that. So it's not like they ever convince each other that one side's politics is correct. It's more like they just show that, like, despite them having different ideals, they can still be friends, and there's something really sweet about that.
I Yeah, if I can, I really love this movie a lot.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I
good.
thought it was
Yep.
great. I mean, I really enjoyed the scenes of them bonding together because
Hmm.
it kind of starts out um, it starts out very tense at first when they meet
Hmm.
because they're pulling like the first time they're hanging out they pull guns on each other and like point it at each other just kind of as like a like just like a testing ground like I got my gun out
Yeah.
like what are you gonna do about it and it's like oh hey I wasn't actually gonna shoot you type of thing but
Hmm.
it kind of got to that point almost and then there's Sue's friend Nam like I mentioned earlier he was feeling kind of lonely didn't really have many friends and there was one point um I thought this movie was going to turn into like a little bit of a gay romance because
Yeah.
yeah I don't know well there's that scene where like Nam and Sue are like talking and Nam all of a sudden's like has anyone told you you look handsome or whatever
Yep.
like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was just like that's an odd thing to just bring up randomly.
No, and they're just being, they're just buds. I mean, there could be something there. I don't know. I do think, like,
No,
I'm sure that there's nothing there. But I also would say, like, it's early 2000s Korean cinema. I doubt that's something that they would do.
no, I guess not. But I mean, I just and they both, at least in the context of this movie, they both have girlfriends because they bring them
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
Um,
and then what's his name? He brings out the picture of the Korean
movie
like
star.
movie star. I love the subtitles in this part because the movie
Yeah,
tells you, like, Korean, very famous Korean movie star. And it even with that subtitle, it made me laugh. I thought that was a good bit because the North Koreans are like, "Oh my God, like she's so hot." It was funny.
yeah. It's just bringing us in as the viewer into the jokes. I guess it would be like, well, obviously that's who that is.
Yeah, yeah, in Korea, yeah, exactly. In Korea, they
So,
see that person, and I'm sure they're like, "Oh, most famous person in the world."
hmm But yeah, it's like I said, it kind of starts out very tense, but by the time all four of them are together, I mean, it's almost like they're brothers at a certain point because,
Hmm.
they're having a good time and they forget like all their um, duties for the most part and they're just like just hanging out. And, it's something that they're well aware of because they know like if they ever get caught, this is going to end badly for everybody. And it does get to that point because we're finally shown like what happened that night.
Mm.
Um, because when it shows them like bonding and stuff like that, and it's finally like one of the North Korean soldiers' birthday, and they're like all having fun, like giving out gifts and everything, taking pictures, and because I mean that's kind of like the thing. It's like it's really late at night. There's nothing else to do. Otherwise, they'd be sitting like in a empty like guard post for 8 hours or whatever it is.
Mhm.
So, um, but then the one time there's like a supervisor or like their commanding officer comes in, one of the North Korean ones, and immediately like just draws a gun on South Korea and like the South Korean soldiers.
Yeah, and it becomes like an extremely tense scene between the South Koreans. They pull out a gun, and the North Koreans have their gun out, and and they're trying to get talked down, but like neither of them can trust each other for the longest time. It's crazy to think though, because the whole time they're like telling the South Koreans like, oh, like we'll take you in, we'll make you a North Korean, we can sneak you in and make you one of ours. It would never be the other way around ever. But yeah, no, I thought that was a really good tense scene, but of course it ends with the South Korean thinks that the North Korean that's there is going to pull out their gun, but he pulls out a walkie-talkie. But as we learned earlier in the movie, he's a very quick shot, so he just
Mhm.
kills him right there and kind of just ruins everything.
Yeah, and he gets shot, and one of the North Korean soldiers they actually bonded with, like he kind of reverts back and kind of forgets like all that friendship they had, and he pulls a gun on him, on the South Koreans. And Sue and Nam, they end up killing that one North Korean soldier, the one guy
Yeah.
that was actually like their friend. And he, they they like they put in like 8 bullets into him and
Don't they like
everything.
execute him too? They like shoot him in the head after shooting the shit out of him.
Yeah, and Nam ends up getting away, and the other North Korean soldier ends up shooting Sue like in the leg
Mhm.
to basically make it look like a fight, and he's just like, "Go, like just get out of here," type of thing. Like,
Yep.
I'll cover for you.
Yeah. Well, and he
And
says like, "Say you were kidnapped, go." Um,
yeah,
so that's where the story goes from there. And then that's when we catch up. But we don't go immediately back to that. The movie has a twist for our main character where her dad is actually he was a North Korean that whenever at the end of the Korean War didn't make the choice to go to the South or North Korea. He actually just left and went to Argentina. So that technically makes her not a neutral. So she
yeah,
gets kicked out of it. So now she's leaving and she more wants to just find out what happened. And because she isn't neutral anymore, I feel like it's easier for them to actually say what happened to her because they won't have any repercussions.
yeah. Well, that's the whole deal because now that she's kind of like out of the neutrality, she doesn't have to treat these suspects as like, um, like gently or anything like that. She can. She's like, well, since I'm just doing this as of my own free will now, like I'm just gonna like I just want to know what happened there.
Mhm.
And after that, she goes and questions Sue, um, and he uh, he ends up killing himself.
Yeah, it's a very bleak ending. He kills himself out of just regret over everything that happened. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, it's not a very happy ending. And
because
let
because they give him like a light, like basically like there's like a scene earlier in the movie where Sue had given one of the North Korean soldiers his lighter, and like stuff like that is in North Korea is very rare. And so like, he was all amazed by, he's like, whoa, like this is really cool type of
mm,
thing. And he gives it back to Sophie and tells him to give it back to Sue. And that's what kind of causes, like, it rattles him so much because that guy was his friend at a certain point. It's like they're not friends anymore. It just like it really tears him up. So
I think it would have
he
been
ends up.
better if it was a moon pie. Because remember, he eats a moon pie at one point in the
Oh
movie.
yeah,
And she's like, "Here, want a moon pie?" And he's like, "Oh my God, I can't
God,
handle it."
that's happens to me every time I see a moon pie.
Same here. Moon pies suck. I'm just saying. They're not good.
Whoa, whoa,
Yeah,
Nathan!
they're
I
not
didn't
really,
realize
they
you were doing
taste,
hot takes.
yeah, they taste stale. Like they taste like very stale. I've had many in my life.
Nathan, what do you feel about zebra cakes?
Oh, zebra cakes are delicious. I love zebra cakes. No hate to those. Um,
Oh, good.
yeah. But no, this movie, I think it's a good movie. But my God, like what a final shot! Like this, it's almost like he had the idea for a final shot of a movie, and he built the movie around that. I loved it because very early in the movie, there's tourists looking at the neutral zone, and they take a picture, and the way it shows it zoomed in, and you see one of them, and then the camera pans, and you see another person, and then it zooms out, and you see that all friends were in that one picture together at that moment. And there was just something about that was like, oh wow,
It,
that's how you end a movie.
yeah, it's a very powerful final image where, like you said, it's just like these four guys that were just like enemies at one point, and now
Mhm.
like they were like best friends,
Yeah.
and it all kind of falls apart. It's a really good final shot. Like I said before, I really like this movie a lot. I
Mhm.
thought it really, I was super invested in their relationship. Like even the quote slow parts or whatever, it was just them like hanging out. Like I felt was very endearing, and I thought I enjoyed all the performances around this movie. Definitely a hidden gem for me because I wasn't, this would not be a movie I would expect to go out of my way to see. Um, it's just a very heartwarming and tragic story at the same time.
Yeah, well, I have to hate it because Quentin Tarantino said it was one of the best movies of the 2000s. He put it in his top 10.
Hmm.
So I don't like it. Oh, I can't.
Oh, no, no, no. Nathan, Paul Dano was not in this movie.
Oh, okay. I thought he was. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that was his one criteria. Paul Dano is not in this movie. So I love it because I hate every can I rant really quickly, but he said that Paul Dano is the weakest actor in SAG. Do you know how much of a crazy statement that is? You know how many bad actors are in SAG? There's so many people in SAG. Insane, insane take. Um,
I, he just says dumb stuff like that because he knows people are listening and he believes his own hype at this
Yeah.
point. But
And he's becoming irrelevant because he can't make his last damn movie. He's been sitting on this last movie forever. Just make it. But anyway, great movie. No, this is a really good movie. I was surprised too. I've never heard of this movie. Of course, I know the director, but I never knew this part of his filmography. That's really strong, really interesting. I highly recommend it.
yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Okay.
But anyway, that's going to do it for joint security area, Nathan. So, Nathan, what are we going to talk about next time?
Oh boy, we are going to be talking about 2001's Despiser, which is streaming right now on Tubi. But Ryan,
Fantastic.
what are we covering on Thursday?
Well, Nathan, I want to do a little horror movie. We're going to be covering The Shout, which is on Tubi and the Criterion Channel.
All right. Well, I'm excited to watch that.
Well, perfect. Well, if you have any thoughts and opinions, please email us over at drivingdoublefeaturepodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow our Patreon at patreon.com/drivingdoublefeaturepodcast. And once again, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/drivingdoublefeaturepodcast. But until next time.
Until next time.